Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Pueblo Coin, and today I have for you a video about wealth building and about a guy named Dave Ramsey. And I'm making this video for a couple reasons, because a lot of people in our country today are what we would call binary thinkers, and thanks to the smartphone and apps in a 24/7 news cycle that intentionally divides us. So like our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, it feeds our hive minds. Thank you very much. I'm going to use the term ZD. So our hive minds, it just feeds us the same stuff over and over again, right? And so for if you like, you may have clicked on this video because you saw the word Dave Ramsey, or you may have clicked on this video because you saw the word coins, right? And so maybe you watch Dave Ramsey, maybe you watch coin videos, and so all of a sudden, maybe you've never seen me before, but you're like, oh, hey, here's a coin video, or here's a guy about building wealth and investing and stuff. And so I've had a number of people over the last couple of weeks kind of invoke this, and when I hear something a few times, I say, okay, I should make a video about it. And specifically, it was about building wealth and buying gold and silver, and then it was about Dave Ramsey. Now, I think one of the things that happens in this is I get people who are like, well, Dave Ramsey doesn't want you to buy gold or silver. So Ben, you shouldn't promote Dave Ramsey. Okay, let me get this straight. You have a guy, if you don't know who it is, this is the guy. I'm really big into personal finance, and I'm really big into people having happy finances, happy marriages, good parenting. These are family things. These are important things to me. Good faith life. These are important to me. And so when I hear people say, well, Dave Ramsey doesn't think you should have gold or silver, therefore what? Therefore you shouldn't listen to the guy who has made more people millionaires in America than anyone before. The guy and he'll say this, all he's done is packaged common sense and put it into a system. That's all he's done, right? My point about gold and silver, if you hear me, is we're not the YouTube guys that are like, hey, silver, gold, make money, make money. You're never going to make a ton of money on gold and silver. That's just a thing, right? So maybe if you're one of these guys that's speculating, like you speculate on anything else, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to buy a bunch of it now, and then when it triples in price, I'm going to sell it. That's not our philosophy. That's not our belief system. I very clearly, I say this a lot of times, I'll say it here again because it needs to be repeated, because maybe you've never seen me before. Gold and silver to me is a savings account, an emergency fund, right? An insurance policy against hyperinflation, and an inheritance. And those are the things that it's used for. I don't do fear mongering. And this is, by the way, one of the reasons I get along with listening to Dave Ramsey is all the fear mongering that goes on in the news and on YouTube, and you get fed this stuff by YouTube. Look at your viewer history and look at the videos that they're promoting to you. None of them are saying like, you know what, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right, right? None of that. We're getting so hypertensive around everybody, each other, right? And so I want people to have good financial lives. And by the way, I like the guys, I like everybody, I love you all, right? But I like the guys who get themselves in a position to where they can buy nicer coins. And not because, it makes me more money, but because it's fun. Man, you can share. I see guys, they bring a coin in they bought from somebody else. I didn't make a dime on it, right? But they get to show me a cool coin that they found, or, something that completes their collection, and we can high five, because it's a hobby. It's like a sporting event, though. It's like fun. You should go out and have fun with it. But guess what? If you get yourself out of debt and you take the time to invest and save, you'll have more money in retirement than you had when you were a kid. Your working life. I'm a kid, right? So my working life, right? So I will have more financial freedom when I'm older than I have now. And that's just a long-term perspective. If you want to have a good coin collection, you should consider following something like what Dave Ramsey teaches. Now, for those of you who don't like Dave Ramsey because he's from the South or he's bald or whatever, pick a reason, he's too Christian for you, whatever. You should read the original book on millionaires called The Millionaire Next Door, which is, I think the guy's last name was Stanley, but that's like a 40-year-old book. And all the principles and tenets of that book are the same, right? One of the funny things about that book is that coin people end up being millionaires. But the ironic thing is it's the savings aspect. You know, it's not some fancy investment thing. It's just they saved, right? Because Americans are consumers. We consume. We buy things that go to zero value. And I have an old-time customer, old Ralphie used to say, you know, that his dad told him that a coin collector is never broke. And what that means is basically you're taking your dollar bills, your Federal Reserve notes, and you're putting them into something else that has value, right? And this is one of the tenets of buying gold and silver, by the way. It is just your savings. Like my first tenets of gold and silver is it is a savings account and an emergency fund. You're simply putting money out of your checkbook and out of your hands and somewhere you're not touching it. You're putting it into an object that it will sit in and maintain value. It is a store of wealth. Money is not wealth. Money and cash is not wealth. Money is just a tool that people use to build wealth. So don't get that confused. People, your income is not wealth. Your income is a tool. That's something that everyone seems to forget in America. You know, when you spend all of your income on cars, you know, $500-600 a month, you're just throwing money away. I mean, you can have a car for a fraction of that price. Anyways, the rant here is, let's not be binary, people. Let's not say, well, Dave Ramsey doesn't like gold and silver, therefore you shouldn't listen to Dave Ramsey, right? So what? So what if he doesn't like gold and silver? Listen to what the guy teaches, because you're going to get yourself in a good financial situation. So you can buy more gold and silver later if you want to, right? And you can buy more collector coins, because that's what this channel is really about. You can buy that rare coin you never thought you could buy if you get yourself out of debt, and if you get yourself on a budget, and if you communicate with your spouse about stuff. These are all things that lead actually to something called happiness, which I know is a serious problem. And especially in America today, happiness is a real serious problem. All right, so I don't know if that counts as a rant or anything, but I'm just saying, guys, let's not be binary in our thinking. Let's be a little bit more open. If someone says something that they do different than you, it doesn't mean you guys are on opposite teams, right? It's not like I look at the guys who collect paper money or world coins and say, no, I'm a Morgan guy. I wouldn't collect that junk. You know, no, just enjoy, embrace. You know, let's have some fun and let's love each other in the hobby, right? So, all right, guys, I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.